Prison School is like before there was interspecies reviewers. Basically, there was like Prison School.
It's one step away from hentai.
Yeah, like how far you could push ecchi. I mean, there's a scene where like I think a girl pisses on a guy accidentally. You know.
As you do.
It's fucking.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah,
man.
it's hilarious though. It's hilarious. It's like one of the funniest ecchi anime that I have seen. Like, but it was out like a few years ago, wasn't it? How old was it when it came out?
2017, 2018.
Yeah, because I was a big fan of the manga. It was one of the few manga that literally had me like crying, laughing when I was reading it. So I was like, I gotta watch this when it was out. But
except it has a very unfortunate ending. Doesn't it?
yeah. I haven't actually read to the ending yet.
Spoil for me.
It's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I was the same. I read the manga and I thought this is one of the funniest things I've ever read.
Yeah.
And then just, man, I don't want to say too much about the ending, but it's not that great. Yeah.
So I was
How the hell though did you watch that on a plane?
Okay, so
Because I felt ashamed watching it.
Wait,
by myself.
hold on. Where were you sitting?
I was sitting on the end, right, and had an iPad. Okay.
Wait, so the whole everyone who walks gets to see it?
I mean, I don't care about them, right? I care about the people sitting next to me.
Right. Why do you not care about them?
And the person sitting next to me was like a little kid.
You're gonna love this movie.
So at the beginning, right, I was like, okay, I was trying to be discreet about it, right? I was like, because I was like, it was on an iPad, so I was trying to watch it as close to my face as possible. You know, like trying to be discreet. So like,
putting blinders on this thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was like a 10-hour flight, so my arms are gonna get tired.
Yeah.
And then about like an hour in, I was like, I don't fucking give a shit anymore. And if the kid wants to look over, there's some culture in his life.
You want to be a Chad kid? Watch this.
Because it wasn't the only thing I watched as well. I watched because the new season of Game of Thrones was on as well. So I thought, you know what? I've already watched Prison School.
Finish
Why
off
the
with
fuck not?
the Brazzers video. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, they can't blame me that time because it was on their selection, right? So. I'm sorry, kid, or you're welcome, kid.
He's probably a massive fan of the show now. He's like, thank you for opening me up to the world.
Do you get to the point on a long ass flight? It's like a flight that's over like 8 hours, right? Where you have 1 hour left. And you need to pick something to watch, and that 1 hour of content is like the worst watching. Like,
I don't even bother with that kind of stuff. If there's less than 2 hours remaining on a flight, I just don't even bother starting.
What do you do?
I either read a book or sleep.
Yeah, it's just like that Twilight Zone.
It's awful. I hate that.
I hate it because it's the same when I know I have to do something in an hour, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I could squeeze in an anime episode in this time.
It's like,
but I never do.
I watch a random Family Guy episode,
Yeah.
I guess, because I hate myself. And Big Bang Theory episode right after.
Yeah.
Why not?
Nah, Big Bang Theory is never worth it.
No.
You know that.
When I see people watching that on a plane for like 6 hours straight, I'm like, what's wrong with you? what went wrong? Where this is the peak?
I couldn't escape from the Big Bang Theory thing, right? Because of my surname.
Bazinga.
Yeah. So many people are like, oh, look, the Big Bang Theory. You're like, oh, shut the fuck up. No.
Already hate the show.
Then first of all, it's pronounced Bissinger. Right? God damn it. But
that's
yeah.
gonna be on the Reddit now. Everyone's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Thank you.
I remember seeing you tweet the other day that you don't realize how much porn is on Twitter until you see
there's
it
a
in
lot of
public,
porn.
right? There's like, apart from what you like as well, we've already touched on that topic.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting at home on your couch, you're like, you're just you're like immune to this shit.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in like a crowded train, there's like a grandma to your left, like another little kid to your right, and you're like, man, there's just a girl sucking dick right on my timeline, and it's just out there.
Wait,
in
like
the open.
IRL?
Huh?
Like real life
No,
stuff?
hentai, of course.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, what accounts are you following? Jesus, I thought I was bad. God damn.
I was on because the reason I tweeted that was the other day I was just on the train and like there was it's the worst, right, where the image is cropped.
No, I was about to say, and you're like,
and you're like, oh, what's this? And you open it and it's just like, because what it was two people, right? And it was like two people dressed as cowboys, like on the top, right? So I opened it and then they were naked from the bottom down, riding each other like anime characters. And because I was asleep, it took me like 4 seconds to realize what I was looking at. But like I was holding my phone like here, so the two women who were sitting next to me definitely saw. And then I was like, oh yeah, I should like not show this, right? But okay, when I moved to Japan the first week or so, I was like, oh god, I shouldn't show what I'm looking at on my phone.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like,
Whatever.
hentai.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. How do you think I find the time to like all the hentai? I do it on my commute.
You have to.
Because there's always there's always that picture where you're like, this is a 50-50. Am I gonna see titty or is this just an etchy picture? You know what I mean? Am I gonna see
where it's just like it gets cut like top of the cleavage.
like that, right?
It's
like the facial expression isn't like it isn't like hey gal.
It's like neutral, right?
It's just like a slightly blushing picture. Like you can like
exactly.
like it's like a slightly blushing picture. So you're like, this could be just a really nice piece of artwork, or it could just be someone getting dicked from behind. I don't know. I have to click to find out, right?
It's like Reddit 50-50.
Do you remember that time? Can I go tell that story?
Yeah, you can tell.
So Garner liked this photo of like a woman who was in a Naruto cosplay, right? And it was heavily cropped, so all you could see was like her shoulder.
It was Tsunade. Because how I found it was Revel House Dissidia had liked it, and I thought I saw the top half, and I thought, that's a good cosplay.
Like a wholesome cosplay.
Yeah, I'll like that one.
We were all sitting in the living room, right?
Yeah.
Then Sydney barges in. He's like, "God, what the fuck have you like?" And we're all like, "Why?
What's going on?"
Yeah. So we go and we expand this image, and like 70% of it is her with her ass, like full bare ass.
Yeah. So the exact pose she was doing, it was like top half was like this, but then the bottom half was just like this.
He was like, wait, what? So he goes and opens it. He's like, oh shit! And we all went to it to Twitter and look. There's like 6 of us in the living room, and we all went to go and see it. We all started fucking pissing ourselves laughing because Connor just basically retweeted this. You know?
Oh my god,
it was so funny.
No.
Shit, I nearly fucking lost it. I was laughing about that for like a week.
Yeah.
It was. I'm gonna find the photo and send it to Drew Dan.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird stuff on Twitter, you've been watching some weird stuff on
Speaking of stuff on Twitter, stuff has been happening on Twitter.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, YouTube, every single YouTube community seems to be on fire. We're doing pretty well though, anime YouTube, right?
Surprisingly.
So far.
Surprisingly.
I mean, it's kind of wild right now. I mean, I don't really want to get into the specifics of all of it.
No.
It's all speculation.
I'm sure if you guys have a Twitter account, you know what's been happening.
Basically, the whole of YouTube's on fire, and every day you log in on Twitter, it's just...
Twitter's just adding the fuel to the fire.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... At this point, it's just, like, exhausting, right?
It's so hard to keep up with. And, like, I obviously don't want to sit here and be like, fuck the victims or whatever. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is that it's so exhausting.
No, shall I say consumer or just person on the internet, there's just too much information for me to be able to keep up with everything that's going on now.
Yeah, there's only so many twit-longers I can read in a day before I just the big sigh starts to kick in.
I want to care, right? I want to support all these people who are coming out with all these statements, but I also don't want to, like, help a situation that I don't understand anything about. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then also there's just too many. Like it feels like our brains are being like DDoSed right now by information. Because like not only is the world ending with coronavirus, which we've just forgot about.
Yeah.
Like, we got to deal with all this shit and figure that out, and it's just, oh my god. It's impossible.
Like, I don't even know how the drama channels are keeping up with all the stuff that's coming out.
Oh, they're just frothing at the mouth, aren't they? With all this content. I mean, I made a joke on Twitter saying, like, the only people benefiting from 2020 are the drama and news channels, but it really does seem that's the case,
Yeah.
Because everybody else is just so sick of what's happening. Like, and I feel bad saying that, right? Because as you said, like,
I just wish it didn't happen.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
It's tragic that the bar for being a semi-decent content creator is just not touching kids now.
It's just keeping your genitals in your pants.
It's sad that it's come to that,
Right.
It's just, all right, I guess we're just making content is not even a thing anymore.
Because remember like 5 years ago when it was controversial to have a sponsor in your video? And now it's kind of controversial if you do something really weird with kids.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's...
I don't know.
I mean, YouTube's changed and evolved so much. Thinking about just like I'm going on like a content perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always this kind of like YouTube meta about the content you should make. Because I remember like commentary channels or drama channels didn't really exist like 5 years ago. Because what? Like I don't know. Because I remember I remember thinking, why would anyone be interested in YouTubers talking about other YouTubers?
I guess it's like the way that, the reason why TMZ exists, right? Like,
yeah.
It gets to a point, right, where YouTube got so big and you can only, like, the people, I mean, I basically only watch YouTube at this point. I watch anime, I watch Netflix, but it's like 80% YouTube, right, what I watch. Yeah. It would make sense that then a market would appear for being able to just talk about YouTube and YouTube drama, dumb shit that YouTubers do, because, my God, do they do some dumb shit.
Yeah, and a lot of them unfortunately get away with a lot of it as well.
And I think it's just because there was not as many eyes on just what YouTubers were doing back then, because it was just like, why are you talking about a YouTuber? They're not a celebrity. They don't have any power. Like,
as much as all these YouTubers like to wish they're a celebrity.
But
we're mainstream.
But I don't know. Like, Twitter has just been. I've always enjoyed Twitter because I've always said to people, it's kind of a nice in between of social and business, at least in terms of like as a YouTuber using Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand what like a regular person would need Twitter for. Like,
right.
I think it's a cesspit.
I never used Twitter before I started YouTube.
Like,
I never cared about Twitter or anything like that. But I think as a YouTuber, it's kind of
you have no choice.
It's almost required at this point.
Yeah.
Next to a YouTube channel.
I mean, I doubt we would be friends, right? If we didn't
no.
Twitter and socialize with each other.
To me, Twitter is just basically Facebook for influencers online, I guess. Like, I get to follow what everyone else is doing, not just in my own circles, but in like other circles as well. Yeah. Because that's basically the only reason I go on Twitter, apart from lewds and memes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Porn and
the rest of Twitter just makes me. Sometimes,
yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I totally get it.
Because you can't debate anything really on Twitter.
No.
And people aren't interested in having like that.
The moment you join in on an argument, you've already lost.
That's why, like, I obviously we're all human. We all have opinions on things. Yeah. But I think the reason why most of us just don't comment on anything because it's like if you comment, you lose.
Yeah,
like if you get involved, you lose.
We can't be fucked to join in on this losing battle, right? It's
just
a waste of energy.
It's like if I wanted to get involved, I don't think Twitter is the right platform to get involved for like a lot of things. Like some things, yeah, definitely, but I feel like there are other platforms or other means that you could use to get involved.
Definitely. And it's just like it's crazy how even the most agreeable statements can become controversial on Twitter. Like, I saw someone who was just like, don't fuck kids. And there was somehow people in the comments.
How dare you?
Somehow there was someone commenting, like, as a playing devil's advocate. And it's like, what? This is just like drink water. Like, I thought this was like, a thing that everyone just understood was the thing to do.
Unfortunately, common sense nowadays is not as common as we'd like to think it is, right?
Which is why I just, again, like, even if I think me commenting on something or like, getting involved with a drama is like a slam dunk, I'm like, it's not worth it. It's gonna be like 4 people who are like, I don't know though.
Like you could say, you gotta drink water to survive, and people would be like, but I like drinking Coke. Yeah. Can I not? Are you telling me that I can't drink Coke?
You fucking right-wing, like, water.
Coke was once water, right?
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's
kind of why I just kind of like switch off and post my occasional memes to Twitter and get on with my YouTube.
I feel for me, it's been like that for the past couple of years, and it's just kind of gradually gotten worse and worse until today. I mean, before I wouldn't hesitate to post an opinion about something regardless of how controversial it was.
Yeah, I noticed you don't really post your opinions much anymore.
No, because every time I do,
you got a lot of
there's always some group of people who's just so quick to coming on to me like, oh, no, you're a terrible person for saying this very personal opinion.
You are, Joe.
Yeah, apparently, according to the internet, I am. And now I don't know. There's so much, as you said, there's so much I want to say, but I guess that's the double-edged sword of having a big following and, and a quote-unquote influence on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I've become content with not having to say my opinion. I mean, you look at like J.K. Rowling and you're like, please stop.
Yeah, please,
please stop saying your opinion, right? But like this is the thing, right? You get famous or whatever, and you think my opinion deserves to be heard.
Yeah,
it's a right for it to be heard. And it's like, shut the fuck. No one gives a fuck what you
sometimes
think.
no one gives a shit.
I think like that's the biggest reality check as a YouTuber is like just learning that no one gives a fuck what you think. Just make videos for me.
Pretty much. Because I mean, like for me, I see myself the same way as I did like 10 years ago. Like we're all just fucking normal guys who had like the same fucking life as most other people watching this. Went through fucking university. No one gave a shit about my opinion back then. Why would people give a shit about my opinion now because I have shitty opinions on anime? Like that just doesn't make sense to me,
I just don't think my opinion is is better than anyone's. I think my opinion is just as shitty as some people.
And isn't it hilarious how so many people who are against like channels like us, who are so quick to be like, oh, he thinks that his opinion is so much more grander than everybody else's because he has a large following, he has influence on the internet. And yet, we never say or mean that ever. Like, they're putting words in our mouth.
I mean, it happens. I just kind of accept it. Stuff happens like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get too beat up about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of, like you said, the double-edged sword of having a very large audience. Like, we could not talk to this large an audience if they were, like, in real person, they're in real life. And you're going to get, like, something you're going to say is going to inevitably get misconstrued or something like that.
Yeah.
And some people are just not going to like you.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time.
It's a hard thing to learn, but you're just going to have to accept that you're not going to be interested.
Yeah.
But you know what's a one good example is that I remember when you first started uploading videos, when you got that first dislike,
and
you were like,
whom's disliked this? Tell me thy name.
You know, you're like, you want to find out why they disliked it, and then like if you're looking like down here right now, you can see like 120 or like 300 or 1,000. How many views we have, right?
Yeah.
You just accept really quickly that you're gonna have like 200 dislikes straight away, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why 30 people dislike my video when it goes live, but it happens to everyone. And I want to know why, but it's something that as a YouTuber, you just come to accept. But I guarantee if any of you start a YouTube channel, you'll know when you get that first dislike, because it's going to sting. And you're going to be like,
But I've always said to people who, because so many people, when I go to panels or conventions or whatnot, the question that I'm sure all three of us get asked is, how do you start a YouTube channel? Like, what tips do you have for a beginning YouTube channel? And I've always said to people that the moment you start getting dislikes in your video is when you know you've made it. It's because it's true. Because now
it's actually true.
Because
or you fucked up.
or you fucked up really bad. But if your videos start to get maybe like 1 or 2 dislikes to like maybe 10 times the amount of likes, right?
Yeah.
Then that means you know you've made it, because now you're reaching a wide enough audience that you won't